Happy Tuesday, everyone, from Houston, Texas, and welcome to Stellar Parenting. I'm your host, Brandi. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I also hold a Master of Science degree in psychology with an emphasis in child and adolescent development. And I love to combine the magic of the stars with science and to help parents, teachers, and guardians learn how to understand children at a deeper level. If you're interested in working with me, please visit my website at brandicon.com. So for today, we've got two important transits coming up this week that I will be sharing with you, and we are going to dive right in. On Wednesday, October 22nd, Neptune will retrograde back into the sign of Pisces. And this is the sign that Neptune has called home since 2011. So, this is Neptune's final return to Pisces in our lifetime. And since 2011, Neptune in Pisces has washed over the collective with dreams and spirituality and idealism and compassion, creativity, and at sometimes confusion. And it has blurred the boundaries between what is real and what we imagine. So think of AI, right? And it has also awakened empathy and intuition, but also revealed where we sometimes escape, where we may deny things or delude ourselves. Those of you with planets or angles around 29 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, as well as those of you with planets or angles around 0 degrees of Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra, you guys are really going to sense this energetic change. Now, as Neptune dips back into the sign of Pisces for the final time, we are being invited to revisit the dream one last time and to forgive, to release, and to integrate everything that we've learned about surrender and faith and illusion since this cycle began. So, this is the closing scene of a very spiritual era. And the themes that emerge right now, and those can be themes around intuition, addiction, spirituality, and sensitivity. Those are opportunities for healing and closure. And we are invited back to the waters of Pisces to reclaim our truth before Neptune finally moves into Aries in 2026. So, this is the moment to let go of what's dissolving and to honor the ending before the new chapter begins, and to allow the tides of your soul to really settle into stillness one last time before the storm of awakening arrives. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect on your spiritual journey since 2011. What have you learned about trust and intuition and divine timing? And if you're anybody like me, you've learned a lot. I'd like for you to release illusions and to notice where you've been idealizing or denying or escaping and gently come back to a state of truth. Also, revisit spiritual or healing practices. So, I want you to return to what really nourishes your soul, and that can be yoga, Reiki, journaling, or dream work. And also, let's practice surrender. So, let go of forcing outcomes. Neptune reminds us that some answers appear only when we release control. Here's what I want you to avoid. Please don't ignore your intuition. If something feels off, I want you to trust your inner knowing instead of relying on your logic alone. Also, try not to numb out. So, avoid overuse of substances, screen time, or distractions that you may be using as a coping mechanism. And for those of you who are parents, your children may seem extra sensitive or dreamy this week, okay? Especially if they have those placements that I mentioned at the beginning. They may be more emotional, more imaginative, or more distracted than usual. So we want to watch for escapism. Okay. So if they're excessively using screen time or they're zoning out or retreating emotionally, that may be a sign that they need emotional connection or reset. Also, it's a great time to talk about intuition with your child and help older children or teenagers to learn to trust their gut when it comes to their friendships and relationships. And then this Friday on October 24th, we will have the sun at the first degree of Scorpio forming a square to Pluto at the first degree, sign of Aquarius. So, whenever the sun and Pluto are in a hard aspect to each other, the cosmos is really inviting us to look at power and to look at power as far as how we hold it, how we give it away, and how we reclaim it. So, this is a time when truths can no longer be hidden. What was once suppressed will rise to the surface to be seen and transformed. So, you might notice power struggles, control issues, or emotional intensity, either within your relationships or in the world around you. But beneath the tension, I want you to remember lies liberation because the sun in Scorpio is asking you, what do you need to release so that you can step into your authentic power? While Pluto in Aquarius replies, how can we transform the way that power is shared among all of us? So, this square, this aspect between the sun and Pluto may feel uncomfortable, but it's really meant to awaken personal sovereignty. And it reminds us that real transformation doesn't come through domination or resistance. It comes through self awareness and conscious evolution. So, here are some things I'd like for you to do for Sun square Pluto. It's a great time, everyone, to face your shadow and reflect on where fear or control still dictate your choices. Also, empower yourself through honesty. So speak your truth, even if it shakes the room. Also, observe power dynamics. Notice who or what holds influence over you and decide whether that's really healthy. Also, it's a fabulous time to declutter and detox. And that's because Scorpio loves release and clearing physical, emotional, or energetic clutter. The scene and the stage is set for that. Here are some things I want you to avoid. Let's try not to engage in power struggles, okay? Competing to win really will only reinforce ego tension. And we need to avoid manipulating or coercing others. So it's very important to remember that having a sense of authenticity and transparency and integrity are going to be key under this transit. We want to have integrity as far as how we use our power and how we allow others to use their power. For those of you who are parents, please remember your children may feel more intense. Their emotions may be more intense. They may seem much more reactive this week. And this especially applies to how they interact with authority figures, those in charge, or even how they're reacting to rules and regulations. So we want to avoid power struggles. It's a great time to offer choices when possible to help your child to feel empowered. Also, let's validate their feelings. This is so incredibly important because this energy can stir up a sense of frustration or emotions that have been hidden and buried, emotions that we've tried to suppress, such as jealousy or defiance. Okay. And remind your child that their emotions are messages, they don't necessarily point to misbehavior. And teenagers in particular might really be questioning rules or authority later this week during this transit. So let's, as parents, use this as an opportunity to teach about integrity and personal responsibility, not just blind obedience. So that wraps up our transits for this week. I want you all to set intentions with how you're planning on using this energy in healthy and constructive ways so that we don't have the lower side of the transit show up for you. So remember, like I like to mention every week, the stars may guide us, but we are powerful co-creators and we have the power to shape our destiny. So keep shining your light bright. Have a fabulous week, and I'll see you back here again next week.